Now, earlier today, we got up close and personal with some of these amazing robotic animals, giving David Attenborough a run for his money.
Well, we're going to learn much more about them in just a moment. But before we do, here's a little look at the wonderful, wild world that they've been witness to.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? And the Spy in the World's producers, Rob Pilley and Phil Dalton, join us on the sofa now. And welcome to both of us. I mean, it is extraordinary because it's got all the beauty of sort of nature, wildlife films that we see, but just that little bit extra.
Absolutely. This is the second in the series of Spy in the Wild. We did one 3 years ago. We learnt so much from it because the characters of the animals and the way that they get involved in the natural behaviour, up close personal, it takes you, the viewer, into this incredible world that's only ever been seen from a long distance away before.
Whose eyes are we looking through there? That was the gorilla, I think. We were looking through the gorilla's eyes. You say 3 years in the making, with an extraordinary team from around the world who have worked so hard to make sure that the animals behave in a way that's going to get them accepted. What have you updated in that 3 years? What's changed?
Well, we've introduced lots more moving parts, and we've got a larger array of spy creatures this time.
Over 50 this time.
Yeah, over 50.
Wow.
36 are new to the series, and each and every one reveals something quite unique. When you deploy them into the field, they reveal something quite startling.
And we've had 3 years of development in terms of the batteries. They're a lot more powerful now. The cameras are minimum 4K, 6K, 8K. Resolution is going through the roof these days. The intimacy, the details of the facial expressions as well are... We're all biologists. We're all very much involved in the process of making these devices to understand the animals we're trying to film. And so it results in the spy creatures.
Sorry, I've got Hummingbird. He's getting impatient there.
Does Hummingbird want to fly?
I think it wants to fly.
Yeah,
shall we?
I mean, hopefully it will fly.
Shall we have a look?
Yeah, let's give it a go. I think it's the Hummingbird. OK, here we go. So stand back. I'm going to power it there. I'm going to click this button, and he's ready for takeoff. Here we go.
Ooh! Oh, wow!
There we go. So we used this Hummingbird to film monarch butterflies in Mexico, and it flew very high up into the tree canopies to film tens of millions of butterflies. It's butterfly friendly, so they could literally land on the propeller guards without being disturbed. Rob, I'm going to get you to catch it when you're ready.
I'll demonstrate how safe it is.
Yeah, here we go. Ready. You catch. Go. There we go.
We've got some footage of it in action as well. There you go. I mean, this is.
I mean, that is so beautiful.
It was one of the greatest wonders of the world. We had something called a mega cascade happen when our Hummingbird was flying. And literally an avalanche of butterflies all descending from the canopy of the tree. There were so many, it blotted out the light from the sky.
When you suddenly realise you've just filmed that, isn't that just like one of those moments you just go, right, this is what we're doing?
It was almost like a dream experience. I mean, it was incredible. And they're all heading off back to North America on a massive migration. It's like a 4,000-mile round trip, these little butterflies. So every one is so precious. So we have to make sure that our devices don't
interfere.
I remember talking to David
exactly.
Attenborough in here a few years ago, who was saying that from the day he started to now, the technology has been incredible. But this is such an amazing leap forward. Let's talk about some of the animals that we've got here. The koala. Now, the koala witnessed something that is actually no longer there.
That's the sad thing about it. We filmed with the koala on Kangaroo Island in southern Australia 2 years ago. We filmed an amazing sequence, spy koala at the peak of the breeding season, literally 2 years ago to the day. We were out there filming with them, and we got this amazing breeding behaviour of the males fighting amongst themselves, which happens at the peak of the dry season. Everything's tinder dry, mid-40s, it's unbelievably hot and dry. Such a tragedy now that we found out that not only what has happened in eastern and southern Australia has happened, but also the fact that when we filmed with him, the behaviour we got, we were actually in the location, which has been completely devastated now.
And all of those koalas that you would have filmed.
Yeah, and I've got friends out there, colleagues, researchers, scientists who we worked with, and chatted to them, sending our condolences. Very much our thoughts are with them. And they sent me photos of Rob. This is where you filmed, and you look at it, it's just blackened.
Oh, that's
very
terrible. What it also allows you to do, I think in tonight's episode, you go to the tropics and you spend some time in a hippopod, which is an incredibly dangerous place to be for normal cameras and sort of camera people to be there filming that. You wouldn't get the footage that you got, so it allows you to go into
And that's exactly what the spy creatures do. They go where no person would dare go because it's just too dangerous. Or also, ultimately, we're biologists as well as filmmakers. We work with a lot of scientists and researchers. We want to understand and get the true behaviour of the animals. And so when we deploy these devices, we have to be very cautious, very discreet, very cool and calm. We put them out there. In the case of the hippos, for example, we're there at the peak of the dry season when the males are getting really fired up, and we wouldn't go there, put it that way. It's so dangerous. And so we put the spy devices out there, and they unfortunately do witness a bit of collateral damage sometimes.
I bet,
Which
well,
we'll see in the sequence.
some more than most,
I mean,
usually.
spy bear is a great example. I mean,
Yep.
spy bear, teddy bear looks very handy when you're with a family of grizzlies. And it was at a very unique location amongst about a dozen females with cubs. And spy bear managed to befriend them and sat shoulder to shoulder with wild grizzlies as they were fishing.
I mean, that's
so I
amazing.
certainly wouldn't want to do that.
No.
But spy bear survived.
Do you mimic the scents and smells of the animals?
Yes, with particular examples in the past, we definitely put a scent onto the spy creature. Certainly animals that are very governed and steered behaviourally by smell. So often, you know, we put the smell of the group. I did that with the spy bat, actually. We had to sort of anoint it with smells of the colony.
What were the smells of the colony?
Well, it
Go on,
was,
the glamorous side of
it
that
was
job.
urine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, you have to put a bit of urine on and other bits and pieces.
Nice.
But it works very well because they go in, first of all, they go in and have a sniff. They want to know
Make
where
sure that
it's
it's all
from.
right.
And because it smells like the bat colony, you know, the behaviour changes, their attitude changes.
What about the Komodo dragon?
Oh, goodness, the Komodo dragon. I love Komodo dragons. To go to Komodo was like a dream come true because it's like the real-life Jurassic Park. What we wanted to do with that sequence was get down in the dirt, make them look like dinosaurs, like T-Rexes going by. Wonderful story. We had our spy dragon, who is relatively small compared to the big males. They come along, they're 3 metres long, and they combat with each other. They fight over the females. Our female was relatively small compared to them. They come along, and they use their tongues to taste one another. Jump there.
I know, because it moved and it touched my arm and I didn't know what it was.
Imagine what it's like to be the Komodo dragon, the spy Komodo dragon in that situation. A big 3-metre male comes along. He sniffs her, he looks at her. They are very sensitive to pheromones in the breeding season. The males, they smell, are you a female? And then what they do is, if you're not giving off the right smells, they literally use their massive claws and they rake the back of the female. Because what that does is it releases the skin, opens the skin up and lets the pheromone out. He then has a smell. No, you're not a female. No, in fact, you're nothing. I'll leave you alone. He then went off, he got the scent of a real female. And then beyond that, in the process of finding a real female, raked her as well, confirmed she was a female, like, you're my girl, I'm with you. Another male arrives. Bam, massive clash fight, squabble, 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 testosterone pumping. And they're fighting, and then badoosh onto the ground. Our spy cameras are there, witnessing all of this going on.
Oh, wow.
And then they calm down, the battle was won, as it were. The old thwarted male, he then walks off. He was still a little bit cross, and he saw Spy Pig.
Took it out.
Oh, yeah.
Smashed it up, and these are
Spy
expensive.
Pig did not come back up. Unfortunately. But that's the other amazing thing. Whenever we use these spy creatures, they put themselves in a very dangerous position, in a very rare position.
Well, we remember the footage of David Attenborough with the gorillas and getting close to them, and that extraordinary footage of him being allowed that close. And of course, with something like this, you get even closer.
Get even closer, and you get eye contact. That's the important thing. So the camera is in the eye, and when the gorillas come down, they want eye contact. They want to assess exactly who he is, what he's doing.
This is what my kids see, my poor kids. Hello.
So you have a family of gorillas looking down the barrel of the lens right at you into your living room, and you can see all these nuances of behaviour that would normally get missed, you know, in traditional ways of filming.
They are incredible, guys.
Like a baby.
Just fantastic.
So
This guy's unbelievable down here.
Yeah, you don't spray anything out your nose.
He was a wonderful
please.
privilege to work with because we took him to the Galapagos Islands, and the Galapagos is probably the most protected group of islands in the world in terms of it being a biosphere. It's untouched by humans. It's absolutely wonderful. And it took us many years to get permission to not only film there, but to allow for them to allow us to put the spy creatures in there with the animals, because ultimately we want the spy creature to be incognito filming these amazing bits of behaviour. And it took 2 years to get permission to let us do that.
Well,
It's such a privilege.
They
Thank
are
you.
extraordinary.
Thank you. Good luck with your next filmings as
Thank you.
well.
Spy in the Wild is tonight at 9 on BBC One. And thank you,
Wonderful.
guys. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Our pleasure.
indeed.